Welcome to Minute with Maxwell today. My name is John Maxwell. Have you ever had somebody kind of walk into your life as a friend, and the moment that you met them, everything began to be bigger in your life? What you saw about life, just kind of, the picture just got bigger. If that's the case, then you're going to really like my friend Elmer Towns, who was probably my first official mentor. At the age of 24, began to put me under his wings and mentor me. And the word today on Minute with Maxwell is big picture. Well, let me give you context so you'll understand what an important influence he really had on my life. I started off my pastorate in a very small community in southern Indiana called Hillham. And when I say small, I mean really small. 11 houses, 2 garages, 1 country store. That's Hillham. That's where I started. In fact, the first Sunday, there were only 3 people in church, and 2 of them were my wife, Margaret, and me, and then some elderly lady who lived beside the church, whose name was Maud. Just Maud, Margaret, and me. That's how I started. Very, very small. But while I was there in that rural, small setting, I had a desire to do something much bigger than what my community was. Didn't know how. And then one day I picked up a book by Elmer Towns on America's fastest growing churches. And I read that book, and then he wrote another book on the 10 largest churches in America. And all of a sudden he began to expand my mind. I'll never forget, I found out that he was going to speak in Waterloo, Iowa at a conference. And so I booked a plane and went out to Waterloo, Iowa, and I was so nervous during a break as I went up to shake his hand and tell him that his books influenced my life and that he was really helping me. And I'll never forget, he just kind of loved me. And in fact, he said, tomorrow morning I'm leaving for Chicago. Would you like to go with me? And I said, of course I'd like. I didn't live in Chicago, but if that's where he was going, I wanted to go. And we sat together on that plane, and he began to pour into me. We went then to the United Club Lounge afterwards for maybe another hour before we parted ways. And he marked my life that day because he gave me a picture of people that were doing bigger and better things than I had ever in my own mind imagined. He stretched me. He took me completely out of everything I knew and out of my comfort zone and said, John, there's a big world out there. Go take it. Go for it. And I did. Elmer Towns, who I affectionately call E.T., literally has always stretched me. He's always caused me to take the next step and to go just a little bit higher. I'm so in love and indebted to him for who he is and what he means to me. Recently, I was at a conference in Birmingham, Alabama, and there he was attending the conference, 88 years old now, sitting on the second row, just taking notes, and during breaks coming up and saying, John, wasn't this great? And look what I learned in that last session. And I looked at Elmer and I thought, oh my, he still sees a picture bigger than himself. He sees it for himself. He sees it for others. You saw it for me. That's why I have Minute with Maxwell with you. I see a big picture for you, perhaps bigger than what you see for yourself. That's why I love coming every day into your life and doing my best to do what E.T. has done for me. Just let you see a big picture, a bigger one than perhaps you've seen before. And remember this, you'll fill that picture, because you'll grow to what you see. Thanks for being with me today on Minute with Maxwell.